Yo guys, here I am again, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about persistence in our jobs, in our daily routine. To be more specifically, in our jobs. So we actually go through a lot of difficult stuff in our jobs in on a daily basis. So we have a lot of difficulties, and sometimes it is pretty easy to give up or just to let it slide and let's do this task another day. Let's procrastinate. Let's do it in in other time, because when some task feels pretty difficult, we are pretty often, we as human beings, we are pretty inclined to just let it slide, or let's do it other time, or sometimes we don't even do nothing. We actually end up not doing the task, and actually, how can I say that, and actually uh, we're actually causing a lot of trouble when we let our task that we should do now be done in the next week or in the next day. So when we procrastinate in our job, we are actually causing trouble to our team, and this is pretty bad. Not because the team's going to have problems, but for us, because if you are causing problem, if you are causing trouble in your team, you're probably going to end up fired or lay off it, because everyone nowadays, everyone, no one is fired anymore. Everyone is lay off it. So if someone gets fired from a job, they will just say that they they had been part of a layoff. They have never been fired. No one has ever been fired nowadays in LinkedIn. Everyone has just been laid off it. So what I'm trying to say is, when you are actually facing a big problem in your job, the best thing to do, I know it is not good, it is not pleasant, but the best thing to do when you are facing a big problem in your jobs is basically face it. I know it is, maybe it is not, sometimes it is not the best option. Sometimes facing a big problem right away is not the best option, but for me, this strategy is been working for a long time now, and I just got out of a situation like that because I had a pretty big problem to solve today, and it is Friday. So basically I could just let it slide and wait for the next week for me to accomplish my task, this pretty big and difficult task. But I actually thought to myself that uh, handling a big problem, solving a big problem in a Friday after 3 p.m. is pretty pleasant as well. So especially because in the next week you're going to have less problems to solve, so it's much better. Especially, and also, in your mind, you'll be much more calm. You have less anxiety, because you not have that big problem to solve on Monday morning. This is not a good mood, not a good thing to do. Believe me, you don't wanna jump right into a big problem at a Monday morning, because you are pretty tired from your from your weekend, and it's not gonna be you're not gonna be in a good mood to do that. So what I have to say today is, try to solve your big problems first, and after you can rest after. Or try to solve your big problems first, and you solve your minor problems after, because it's going to be much more pleasant. Believe me, it's pretty pleasant when you can solve a big problem, a difficult problem, especially by yourself or even with your colleagues, and it will be much more delightful, and you have much less stuff to do in the next weekend and after in the next week. And the third point is, you're going to have a much more calm and happy weekend because you know that you solved that big problem at Friday. And that's what I have to say, because I have always been the kind of guy that just pushes the problem to the next week, and this is not a good strategy, especially if you have a lot of trouble to handle. If you're the kind of person that people rely on, it's not good to have a lot of problems on your back, especially unsolved problems. So I wanted to know your opinion on that topic. Do you're the kind of guy that jump right on the problem, jumps on the problem right away, or you are the kind of guy that actually pushes the problem for the next week? Let me know in the comments.